All right, welcome to class, everybody. My name is Alex, the health fitness specialist at the McLean location. Welcome to Stable and Capable. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all enjoyed your long weekend. We haven't been able to teach this class in about 2 weeks. I haven't been able to teach this in about 2 weeks. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's class. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get warmed up. So what you want to do, we're going to have a flow a little bit. Come to your bottom. Bring your palms out behind you, feet out in front of you. Going to bridge, going to reach the right hand across, get the eyes around to where you're reaching, and bring it back, all right? And switch. Really make sure you get the hips up. Get the arm and reach with the arm. We're gonna go for 5 repetitions on each side. Bridge, bring it up and over. Alright. Just to remind you guys, Stable and Capable is all about bringing awareness to how stable our joints are, and then pairing that stability move through, we'll do that through a stability move, and then pair it with a strengthening move. Got one more. So the tempo of this class is, generally speaking, a little bit slower. We're trying to focus on form, trying to focus on creating stability. All right. Next move. Going to come to your back. Bring the hips up. And you're going to turn and reach. So very similar to the move we just did. Turn and reach. All right, so you bring your hips off the floor and you're twisting your shoulders. This is to activate the core a little bit more. And we've got 5 on each side with this move as well. And I gotta start my workout. There we go. You bring your hips up and down after each repetition. Try to keep your heels close to your butt. Got one more on each side. Try to get your shoulders perpendicular to the floor. And twist and reach. Very similar to that first move, all right? Next move, you're going to come to your feet. You're going to fold over, walk out, and you can walk your feet out as well. All right, so we're going to walk back all the way till our heels touch the ground. Walk your hands close as you can to your feet, and then walk back out. 5 repetitions. Try to keep your legs as straight as you possibly can. There's 2. Walk back, take your time. Take your time, take your time. If you need to bend your legs, that's okay, but just do your best to straighten them out and reach for the floor. Keep the back straight. Last one. All right, so you're gonna stay here, bring the hands behind the head. You're going to squat and come back to that bent over position, stand up. We got 5 reps. Squat, push back, stand up. There's 2. All right, so hands behind the head, folding over, keep the back straight, push the butt back, squat down, and repeat. Go in reverse. Got one more. Take your time. We're just getting the body warm and going through the motions our joints can take us through. All right, so this is our last one. You're going to come to a straddle position. Okay, you're going to twist and reach. Remember, just like all the other thoracic rotating moves that we've had, you want to get the eyes around to where your hand is reaching. Should feel a slight stretch in your groin as you twist. Last one. All right. So we'll go for one more move. All right, so you're going to come down onto your palms into a high plank. You can have your knees off the ground. If not, that's okay. But what you want to do is push back and come back up. All right, so keep your knees off the ground. If you're in the high plank, you're gonna keep your knees off the ground. Push back, bring your butt to your knees as close as you can. If your knees aren't on the ground, you're essentially just pushing back into child's pose, and then you're gonna come back up. Okay, so that's 4. Last one, and there's 5. All right. So we are ready to get started, all right? So we have 4 different pairings today. One for the back, one for the push, one for pulling, one for pushing, legs and core. We're gonna be starting off with legs today. All right, so we have a wall sit to stand paired with a hamstring curl negative. So you can use weight for the wall sit to stand if you like, but you don't have to. All right, so the way that's gonna work is you're going to come to the wall and you're going to sit 90 degrees. You're going to come off the wall and stand up. Okay. Let me adjust my camera here so you guys can see a little bit better. All right, and it's still crooked. How did this thing move? There we go. Okay. Jesus. Guess I'm too heavy on my feet. So yes, wall sit to stand. We've got 1 minute of the wall sit to stand, and then I'll explain the hamstring curl negative. Okay. So if you're gonna have weight, whatever weight that you feel comfortable with using, go right ahead. You'll need to scale it a little bit. This is about 30 pounds of weight right here. So this is good for me. All right, so you're gonna squat down, bam, come off the wall, stand up. All right, so we've got 1 minute. Here we go. As many as you can, you're gonna go for the whole minute. All right, so slowly squat down till you get to 90 degrees at your knee and your shin. Come off the wall, stand up. All right, you're gonna try to hold the bottom of that wall sit for a couple of seconds. Then come off the wall and stand up. All right, so we're kind of combining like a pause squat with the regular squat in one move. Hold, come off the wall and stand up. You want to build tension in all of your lower body between your hip and your knee. Grip the floor with your toes. Keep your core nice and tight. All right. Okay, so our next move is going to be hamstring curl negative. Okay? So you're going to come down on your back. In the hip thrust position, you're going to lift your hips off of the ground and slide your feet out until your butt touches the ground. Slide the feet back in, bring the hips back up, slide back out. Nice and slow, as slow as you can until your hips hit the ground. Again, not rushing, but whatever tempo you can control, that's how fast you want to go. All right, so you're looking to transfer the tension from your glutes to your hamstrings. You're still always going to have tension in your glutes, so keep your abs and your glutes nice and tight as you extend your leg. Okay, you're going to feel the tension in your hamstrings increase the straighter your leg gets. That's what we want. Again, transferring tension from the hip, from the glute to the hamstring. All right, so here we go. We got 1 minute. Let's go. Press the hips up and extend the leg. All the way till your hips come down. Bring your legs back in, hips back up, and repeat. Remember, keep the glutes nice and tight, keep the abs nice and tight. While you do this move. Keep your ankle flexed, so keep your toes pointed up so you can keep tension in the front part of your lower leg. That'll help create the stability that we're looking for. Remember, the slower you go, the more challenging it'll be. And top. All right. All right, so we're gonna go back to that first move, the wall sit to stand. I'll have to adjust my camera for each one of these moves, so bear with me, guys. So again, we're looking to create as much tension in the lower body as possible. All right, gripping the floor with the toes, squeezing the glutes nice and tight, tension all through the thighs. All right, and when you go to come off the wall and stand up, squeeze your core, keep it nice and tight. You should come off the wall as one unit as opposed to segmented. You just want to smoothly come off the wall and stand up. Keep the abs nice and tight, and your entire body will move instead of you trying to lean forward, catch yourself, and then stand up. All right, so here we go. And bring it down. So next week, what we will do is regular pause squats. This is just to get your body warmed up the week before. Alright, so we're taking some pressure off the knee with this move by having the hips behind the knee. Alright, so create as much tension as you can in those thighs and in the glutes. Remember, keep the abs nice and tight. Come down nice and slow, slide down the wall nice and slow. Hold that bottom position for a couple of seconds or so. Come off the wall and stand. Keep the core nice and tight in order to bring your body off the wall smoothly. All right. Going to the hamstring curl. Bring it down a little bit for you. And if you aren't on hardwood floor and you're on carpet, try getting some plastic bags or like some paper plates. If you have furniture sliders, those work great too. All right, so here we go. All right, so lift the hips and bring the heels out. Keep your shoulder blades back. I would suggest that you drive your elbows into the ground so that way you can keep your upper body tensed as well. All right, we're trying to work up to the point where we can go out and come back in. So a negative is just to help build the strength. We're still working the muscle by going down slow. So lift the hips, squeeze the butt, hold the tension in the butt, and slowly straighten your leg. All right, fight gravity as best as you can. Remember, keep the ankle flexed, so keeping the toes pointed upward. Keep those glutes and hamstrings tight, as well as the abs. Drive the elbows into the floor. Okay. Back to the wall sit. Alright, here we go. Shouldn't really need to sweat a lot or take many breaks. If you do, that's fine. Go right ahead. Alright? I try to move slow in here so that we can just keep going throughout. And so that you can continue going through those movement patterns without much interruption. All right. Nothing fancy here. Very simple with stable and capable. And again, you can always add weight to make things a little bit more challenging for you. Got about 20 seconds to go. Hold it and come off the wall. We'll see this move again soon too, just wall sits in general. All right. Okay. Back to the negative. Here we go. Right into it, right into it. 2, 1, let's go. So squeeze those hips, get the hips as high as you can, squeeze the glutes, get the hips as high as you can. I like to think about the cue of touching my hips to the ceiling. All right. So again, squeeze your abs along with your glutes. That way you're not overarching your lower back when you bring your hips up. You want to squeeze the abs to help set the hips into a neutral position, along with the tension coming from the glutes. So drive those elbows into the ground, squeeze that butt and the abs, okay? You should be able to get your hips off the ground as high as you can, all the way till they touch the ground. Take your time, take your time. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and go to the next two exercises. Good job on that. You should really feel that in your hamstrings more than anything. And with the wall sets, of course, your thighs in general. You're not gonna feel too much in your glutes, but again, that move was that pairing was primarily to address the hamstrings. All right. So next two exercises, we have a prone row and bent over arm abduction. Still working on the back side of the body. All right. We do a lot of sitting, so we got to do a lot of training of the back side of the body. So you're going to flip over onto your belly in a prone position. You can do this move with weights, or you can do it without weights. If you're going to do it with weights, I would suggest something less than 5 pounds. All right, so you're going to extend the arms and the legs. All right, you're going to lift. You can lift the legs as well and pull back and row. All right, and then you're going to return to your starting position. All right, so again, you can keep your legs elevated or not throughout that move. If you have your legs elevated, it'll be a little more challenging, and you're really looking to lift the chest as high as you can and bring the shoulder blades back when you go to perform the row. That way you get the lower back erectors and you get the mid back and the upper. We're pretty much attacking the entire back with this move. All right, so we're gonna go for 1 minute. Here we go. You don't have to stay lifted the entire time. Again, we're going for stability. So you can come down to the ground and reset after each rep. Lift, pull back and row, and reset. Lift, pull back and row, and reset. And you're going to be looking to squeeze the glutes here as well as the abs again, just to make sure your pelvis is neutral and you don't have excessive arching in your lower back. Lift, pull, and reset. And when you pull, we're looking to hold just for a split second, about a second, and then coming back. All right, we're holding because we're really trying to feel those back muscles engage, and you slowly come out of it, or as slowly as you possibly can. Lift, pull, bring those shoulder blades back, bring the elbows back. All right. So for the bent over abduction, you're gonna grab your weights, anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds, or your improvised devices. And what we're going to do is work on our straight arm strength. All right, so we have another minute to go here, but I'll demo this for you. So you're gonna be on your hands and your knees. You're gonna take your dumbbells and grip them like so. You're going to keep your arms straight, lift out to the side, lift parallel to the floor, and no higher, no lower. Come back down and switch sides. All right, so really make sure you bring your shoulder blade back and keep your arms straight as you go through that movement. All right, so here we go, 1 minute. You're just alternating each side. Keep the back flat, core is tight, lift, bring it back down. Fight gravity, lift, bring it back down. Shoulder blade comes back, core stays tight. Exhale as you lift your weight to help keep your core nice and tight. Also in this position, this quadruped position, our lower body is coming into play as well with the stability. All right. So you probably got some flexion or some just tension going on in your quads, tension going on in your hamstrings, your butt. That's good. All right. Remember, straight arm strength here. As you lift, try to get the weights pointed up and down. Okay. Switching it back up, going right back to the Superman or the prone row. All right, so again, you can do this move with weight just to make it more challenging. 5 pounds or less should do the trick. You can always improvise too. Yeah, I have too much weight. I can't do it with those dumbbells. Lift, pull back, and reset. And if you want, you can always stay lifted, but we're going slow here just to make it more harder, okay? So I challenge you to keep everything elevated and not to reset if you don't have to, as opposed to resetting on the floor each time. Remember, try to hold your shoulder blades back, keep those glutes and hamstrings squeezed so that your legs are elevated. Okay. Whew. All right, so you should definitely feel this along your lower and mid back as well as your upper back. Okay. As always, keeping the abs and the butt tight. If the abs are on, the glutes are on. If the glutes are on, the abs are on. All right, so here we go. Flatten out the back, squeeze the glutes and the abs. Exhale and lift. Exhale and lift. Tension in the butt, tension in the legs, tension in the abs. Breathe in, exhale, and lift. Always create the tension first. Breathe and execute. All right, straight arm strength here. Okay. Fight gravity on the way down. Bring those shoulder blades back and hold them back. Adjust your weight accordingly. Try to keep your body as flat to the floor as possible. Keep that back nice and straight. Okay. Switching it back up. Last one. All right. Oop, let me get back up. Start our timer. And here we go. Remember, you can always keep your legs flat on the floor as well. You don't have to stay elevated. But again, stability is what we're looking for. So move slow and go through as much of the range of motion as you have. Try to keep your arms straight. When you're extended, bring those shoulder blades back when you pull. All right, so keep your wrist neutral as well. In other words, have your thumbs pointed up toward the ceiling throughout the exercise. Really pull, all right, maximally pull, especially if you have no weight like I do, or like I don't. Abs are nice and tight. Glutes are nice and tight. Keep that pelvis neutral. Moving with control. Whew. Should definitely get fatiguing over time. All right, grab those weights. We got our last set with the bent over abduction. Here we go. So again, create the tension all over your body. Glutes, abs, legs. Inhale, exhale, and lift. Fight gravity on the way down. When you lift, try to have your weights pointed to the ceiling and the floor or going up and down. So that way you can rotate the head of your shoulder into a more optimal position. And fight gravity coming down. I'm breathing like that to keep my abs tight, so when I twist and look to the side that I'm lifting to, my body doesn't rotate. Okay. All right, we're gonna move on. We should have enough time left over at the end, and we're gonna go back through one of these pairings, and I want you to choose whichever one you were the weakest with to do over at the end. All right, so we're moving on. We've got seated floor press and dips. Okay, so grab a chair or the end of your bed, or if you're like me and you got a handy little ottoman, grab your ottoman. This will be perfect. Okay, so simply what we're going for in this move is a scapular depression. All right, so this is our scapula moves in 4 different directions: up, down, forward, and back. All right, so we're going to aim for the down position here. You can do this 2 different ways. All right, you can do it seated. If you're going to do it seated, you can have your legs bent or straight. If your legs are bent, it should be a little bit easier. All right, all you're going to do if you're on the floor for this move is bring your palms directly next to your hips. You're going to straighten your arms out. Don't cheat and bring your hands back. keep them right next to your hips. You should be able to touch your butt with your thumb. Straighten your arms out. Push your shoulders away from your ears, and your butt should come off of the floor. All right, this is not a lot of movement going on here. This is not a high range of motion. All right, so what we're looking for is being able to lift your body off of the floor purely through the scapular depression of your shoulder blade. Okay? The other way that you can do this move is on an elevated surface like this ottoman. The elevated surface will also use for dips. Okay? So you can straighten out your legs here as well, or you can have your feet flat so that your legs are bent. And you're just going to do the exact same thing. Straighten your arms out, bring your hands right next to your butt. Straighten your arms out and push your shoulders away from your ears. All right, this way this is a little bit easier because you have your legs to help support yourself. You're not lifting that much of your body weight. Okay, so we're going to go for reps there as well. Just like we did the prone row, you're going to lift, try to hold for a split second, come back down. To reset, repeat. All right, so here we go. 1 minute. And, all right, so lift and come back down. Lift and come back down. Really looking for your shoulders to be straight. Lift, and I say your shoulders to be straight, your arms to be straight. So squeeze that tricep to help lift your body off of the floor, come back down. You should be able to move your body just by moving your scapula. That's what we're trying to train. Okay, so it's all good. If you're not able to, it's not a high range of motion, but the relationship between your scapula and your humerus or just your arm is like salt and pepper. It's like sunlight and clouds. All right, so depending on your shoulder stability, that will determine how stable or strong you are when you go to do something like a push-up. All right, so we're pushing down. We'll be doing dips later. Okay. So now we got dips. I would recommend you come to your ottoman or your chair or the edge of your bed or your stairs or something like that and perform your dips, okay? I have a pair of dip bars here, but I don't think anybody else would have a pair of dip bars. I'm weird like that. All right, so you're gonna come lift your body off of the edge of whatever item you're using. You're going to lower nothing past 90 degrees and lift back up, okay? If you feel more comfortable, you can try rotating your palms, your fingers, so that they're pointing away from you to help get your shoulder in external rotation. And that should help out with your shoulder stability, okay? Otherwise, you're gonna do it on the floor. It's not my favorite way to do it at all. Gonna bring your legs much further forward, going to lower till your bottom touches the floor and back up, all right? So I would definitely suggest you grab an ottoman, a chair, edge of your bed, a stair, something like that. All right, so we're just gonna go for as many as you can within a minute at your own pace, okay? Don't worry about the reps. We're just worried about the quality, not the quantity. So nothing past 90 degrees, push back up. All right, so again, working on straight arm strength with the floor presses, the body holds, and then we're just working on strengthening through that full range of motion. Straight arms, and then we bend them. All right, do your best to keep your shoulders back for this move, okay? Really working on the triceps here as well. And you should burn your shoulders up, you should burn your triceps up between these two moves. Keep those shoulders back. We got core to finish us out. Okay. And again, if you have dip bars, kudos to you. But I think I only know like 2 people that have dip bars, myself and Kenley. I don't know anybody else who has dip bars. So if you have them on hand, excellent. You can use your dip bars for both of these moves. Okay. So we're gonna restart the body hold. Remember, palms right next to the butt. Depress the shoulder blade and lift your body off of the ground. Straight arms, keep your shoulders back. All right, and then reset. Press and come back. So floor press, because we're pressing into the floor, but we're pushing our body away. All right, so they can have multiple names. So just like every other move, once you go to execute, exhale. Keep those shoulders back when you reset. Don't let those shoulders fall forward. I did that a couple times. Hope you guys saw that. Keep the shoulders back, push. Do your best to keep your shoulders straight too, or keep your arms straight. When you reset, don't release. Just keep your arms straight. Keep that tricep contracted. All right. Back on the dips. So again, I definitely recommend you come to the edge of your seat, the edge of your bed, a stair, an ottoman, your couch, something like that. All right, and for those dips, again, now we can bend the elbow. We can bend at the elbow, working through that full range of motion. Okay, here we go. Again, we're not worried about the quantity at all. Quality, nothing past 90, press up. Bring it down, press up. Try to push through each hand evenly as you can. If you have your legs straight and you get a little fatigued, you can bend those legs. That way you have some of the weight put into your legs and taken away from your arms. Keep those shoulders back, keep the chest popped out. Do your best to keep your elbows nice and tight. Squeeze your chest as you push as well. All right, push right into the ground, just like what we were doing the first time. Bend your legs if you're getting a little fatigued. I know I am. Shoulders and chest and triceps. All right. Last set. And then we'll hit the abs. Then we should have some time for you to choose. Oh, we'll go ahead and choose the abs. Go ahead and go to the abs. All right, so just 2 moves, really nice and simple, okay? So the first one is called a pelvic pickup, all right? This one's a little obscure. It's not necessarily something you see commonly, okay? And the second one is going to be a seated leg lift, all right? So they're both pretty simple though, and we're gonna be on the mat for both, all right? So you're gonna come belly down. What I want you to think about when you do this move is the cat-cow, all right? So here's the cow and the cat. You just go the opposite way. You squeeze your abs, you squeeze your butt, you kind of tuck your pelvis under your body, and your knees are still on the ground, okay? But really, that's what I want you to think about when we go to do this pelvis pickup. So you're gonna come down on the mat, stomach down, chin on the ground, arms just at your side, and you're going to perform the cat. You're gonna squeeze your abs, try to tuck your pelvis under your body, keep your knees on the ground, lift your pelvis off of the floor. Okay, you should feel that all down below your belly button and down. You should kind of feel like your abs cinching tight. That's what we want, okay? We're gonna go for a minute. Here we go. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your abs, lift your pelvis off the floor. And here we go. So squeeze, keep your chin on the ground, and relax. cat, and relax. Flex into the cat, and relax. All right? Squeeze and relax. Exhale as you come into that position. As you pick your pelvis up, exhale. And if you're really strong, straighten your legs out, take your knees off the ground, and do the same thing. You can try that out. If you're bowing your lower back, you're not ready for that just yet. All right? So it's really just working on core activation and the relationship between the glutes and the abs. So again, you're just going right into that cat. All right. By squeezing your butt and squeezing your abs in order to pick your pelvis up off the ground, i.e. pelvis pickups. Next move, we have L-sit leg lift. So you're gonna come down to your butt, flip over. You're going to sit up nice and tall, straighten out your arms on the floor, lean forward. You should feel a little tightness in your abs. If you do, excellent. If not, try to purposely squeeze your abs as you lean forward. And you're going to lift one leg or lift both. All right? We're in a not necessarily a compromised position, but because you're already hunched over, there's not much room for your abs to contract because you're already folded over. So you've taken some of the contractile space away from your abs. All right, so here we go. That's why this move is a little harder. All right, so leaning forward, you're going to exhale, squeeze your abs, lift one leg. Inhale, exhale, squeeze your abs and lift the other. Just like we did the cat, that's exactly the same form factor, the same form that you're looking to execute here as well. You should feel like you're lifting from your abs and your pelvis and not your hip flexors. And if you don't feel it, again, try to go lean forward, lift both legs. Try to bring your torso to your legs. Push your chest into your upper thigh and see how hard that is. All right, so again, you're just looking to execute the cat from the cat-cow. And time. Whew, good Lord. So you should really feel like your stomach is about to cramp up. Otherwise, if not, you've got a pretty strong core. Okay, so here we go. Right back on the pelvis pickup. So again, just looking to execute the cat. The cat move from the cat and cow. Squeeze your butt and your abs, pick your pelvis off the floor, and then bring your hips back down onto the floor. Squeeze, lift your pelvis and hold, and relax. Keep your knees on the ground to help reduce how much bowing is going on in your lower back. If you're pretty strong and you got that, straighten your legs out, lift your knees off the ground, and perform the cat from the cat-cow. Lift the pelvis off the ground. All right. And if you want to just hold it, you can also just hold it, see how long you can hold it. But if you do hold it, you should feel tension all in your abs. Woo. All right. So here we go. Last move for the day. And then we'll be good to let you guys go. Again, very simple stuff here and stable and capable. Just trying to hone in on the principles of stability. All right, so here we go. Sitting up nice and tall, straighten your arms out in front of you so your palms are down. Lean forward and either lift one leg or lift both. You're going to alternate if you're lifting one leg at a time. And again, we're looking to execute the cat of the cat-cow. Again, when you lift your legs, you should be feeling like you're lifting from your abs, not your hip flexor. All right, so squeeze, of course, squeezing all the muscles in your lower body to create tension. Lean forward and lift. Just hold it for a split second if you're able to. Make sure you're leaning forward. If you're not leaning forward, you're not going to feel it in your abs as much as you should. By leaning forward, you take away some of the contractile space that your muscles want. All right. Whew. So definitely, if your abs feel like they're getting ready to cramp, that is okay. All right, so flip over. We're gonna come into a cobra. Push back, squeeze the glutes, and lean back. Stretch out the abs. And push back slowly into child's pose. So don't forget what we went over today, guys. Take note of what was the hardest for you. That is probably one of your more weaker positions. Go ahead and switch. Back to the cobra. Push it back. Bring the left arm under and through the right, thread it through. We're looking for stability, okay? So if you aren't able to hold any of those positions for a relatively extended amount of time, and switch, thread the right arm through the left. If you're not able to hold any of those moves for a relatively extended amount of time, that's the move that you want to work on. Okay, so we're relax. Go ahead, come up to a kneeling position, straighten out the front leg, push the chest to the knee. We're kind of looking for positions where we're weak for this format, okay, for this class. That's what we're trying to do. Using the lab is kind of like using the gym is kind of like a lab, hunting for weaknesses, okay? Come back up, switch. Straighten the leg out, push chest to the knee. All right, so that's why we got to take it easy and stable and capable. Got to move real slow, move nice and slow to really weed out what are weak and efficient movement patterns. And relax. Whew. All right, so thank you guys for joining me today. Continue to stretch if you need it. And I will see you guys next week in Stable and Capable on Tuesday. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Holla.